Hello, everybody. Here is an update stream for you all. This is a United States update stream. I will talk about since this is a Ohio channel. I will be talking about Ohio for very soon. But first, I want to talk about the United States update stream. So first, we do have some severe weather currently going on. We have a huge, big line of thunderstorms that are just now moving out of the coast of North Carolina. This has been our main threat today, and it technically still is our main threat as of now, since it is still lingering. But that will soon no longer be a threat, because now we have a new threat, which is currently sadly the tornadic threat. This line of storms has not yet produced a tornadic threat. Potentially, we could see in this corridor of the line a QLCS tornado, which is part of the linear convective system, or a little spit-up tornado could happen as these storms are literally on the coastline. You will have to watch out for the southernmost part of the storm, which is near Wilmington, South Carolina. This part has been getting rammed into massive convecting supercells. We have some supercells just to the south and east of the line, which these supercells are going to be the tornadic proportion. So if there is a low risk for tornadoes, which I do think that it is a low risk today. The reason why it is a low risk is because of these supercells forming, and because also they are discrete. And some of them are semi-discrete, but that still has a tornadic potential. So we are currently seeing some supercells, like fully fledged supercells over here in South Carolina. The thing is, they're quickly going out to sea. Some of them are becoming semi-discrete. Even though this is going to be a semi-discrete line, they can still have a great chance at producing a tornado or two. But we really want to see, we do not want to see these isolated supercells, because then they have the tornadic threat. But we are seeing, basically, if you split this line half in Wilmington, the southernmost part of the line, this is actually, since it is getting bombarded by these supercells, which means it's going larger in mass, and it could maybe kill off the tornado threat for the line or ramp it up, which we could see a potential for it to ramp up. We call this a tail end Charlie in the meteorological field. So you do have this tail end Charlie, which we do see once again as these supercells combined into it or smash into it, which we see this supercell about to smash into the line. We do see just a little bit. I don't think it is much, but it could be. I'll have to look at radar, but just a little bit. There could be some inflow, which is wind flowing into the storm. We do have a little bit of a rear flanking downdraft. So you could, once again, the tail end Charlie, the tail end of a linear convective system, a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, especially when it's getting bombarded by supercells. That's when it becomes tornadic. That's for there. We do have some supercells popping off over here in the ocean. That's not going to pose a threat for many hours. But later throughout the night into early morning tomorrow, early as maybe like 5 a.m., we can see just a little bit of a tornado threat inside this, a little bit of a severe weather threat, not tornado threat. There is just a small tornado threat, but mostly going to be hail and wind. But anywhere in this box, we could see potential for some supercells or at least some strong thunderstorms rolling through that area. That definitely includes Tampa Bay, Daytona Beach, Palm Bay, Orlando, Jacksonville, and Gainesville, possibly the Big Bend as well in Florida. The rest of the country is going to be pretty quiet. We do have some remnant rain showers going on. This is not going to pose any threat, not even a flooding. We do have some storms. I think one of them was severe popping off in Texas. This is happening because we have like two low pressure systems and two high pressure systems, kind of going by. These low pressures are kind of bring some storms going on over here for the Dallas and Fort Worth area. These I do not expect them to be too much of a problem. It may get loud a bit and it may be isolated severe, but nothing too exponential. Over here, mainly this area, you guys are expected to get some rain, but also some snow with this storm. We do have some severe weather actually going on for this part of the country, because once again a low pressure system is going by, leaving the country. We do see, I guess, its last band happening, going by, and we'll see that. I'll show you guys that very soon. But if you look at the radar here, I'm just going to take a quick gander at the radar, if I will, because I do want to monitor that, once again, that tail end Charlie. I want to see that little bit of a, possibly a QLCS. Special weather statement. Velocities are showing definitely inflow winds, but not like strong inflow. We could, once again, with that inflow, we could definitely have those winds going into the storm, and then we have some winds going out, which we could see combined potentially, if there is any rotation, which once again it is very broad, but it would be right around here is where we have some broad rotation. That is when we go into storm relative, but if we go into high relative velocities, we still see it. It is showing up on velocities as well. But if you are out ahead of this rotation, you're going to get some strong winds just south of Wilmington. Maybe impacting the South Wilmington metro and the suburbs. The wind speeds are nearing. Let's look at the DBZ. That's near 30 miles an hour straight line. Yeah, it's still remaining. It's still kind of trying to get some life into it. So it's getting more. There is some rotation, but it is getting more broader. Because now we can see this tail end Charlie with this kind of bow out now. We call this a bow echo, which is basically not a hook echo, or a hook echo shows some rotation, but a buck echo or a backwards C shows almost like a wind-driven rain. And if it's like a way more severe, we can see some wind-driven hail. But as of right now, this is wind-driven rain, which will hook. Wow, I cannot speak today. Bow echoes do not support a tornado threat. It's very hard to. If there is going to be a tornado threat, sometimes when these lines do bow echo out, sometimes we do see it. This is a little bit of a QLCS where the bow echo has a hook echo on it. What also is common in bow echoes is a bookend hook echo, or a booked hook echo, which is really your bow echo, and in the back of it, you kind of have just a little bit of a hook, in the, like a backwards hook, or an E. I call it an E. That's really all. Once again, I am mainly going to be monitoring these supercells going off over here. Because once again, they do have some tornado potential, and this is a considerable severe thunderstorm, which I completely understand, because this is once again packing a punch with potential for 70-mile-an-hour winds. 70-mile-an-hour winds. So this is making 70-mile-an-hour winds. At least it's gusting 70-mile-an-hour winds, but the straight line is 30. Rotational-wise, I'm not seeing on high-res velocity, but if you look at, because velocity is basically like X-ray vision for the storm, and a storm relative, storm relative velocity. It's basically the same thing, but like a mini X-ray for a big X-ray. Velocity is going to be your big X-ray, and the storm relative, it's like its sun. It's like its next generation type thing. Which with its storm relative velocity, we can definitely see possibly something trying to rotate in this line. It's definitely possible for some rotation. We can see some on regular velocities right here. But once again, it's not strong, and it's not really a threat right now. We will see this later. This line is kind of breaking up a bit, which means it is deteriorating. We like to see. Once again, even with this breakup, we do have to watch out for at least some things. Once again, these lines is kind of, you can see the hail core deteriorating. What is a hail core? So do you see, if you look at right there, the pinks and the purples, look at that. We had a huge pinks, purples, very hot pink as well. That you can see that's like a big sploosh right there. I want you to watch that as we progress in time. As it goes out into the ocean. Boom. Once again, this line is deteriorating because it is going out into the ocean. Because these storm supercells, cells, whatever, when they have two, they are, I don't know how to explain this, but they experience different friction in water than on land, mainly when these storms initially form on land, let's say, they are more prone to that severe weather risk. But when they go to the water, whether it's cold or warm, sometimes it kind of does die down because it is a big friction change, and that can definitely help it decrease, which is what we are seeing right now. But also there is other factors to include, like high pressure systems going on, other systems going on, troughs, just a whole bunch of hippy dippy baloney just going on. I am curious to see some of this severe weather. Oh, we have a radar hole. Oh man. We have a radar hole. We can't really. Of course, let's see the St. Paul radar. Excuse me. I would love to use your radar, St. Paul. Of course. Looks like we are going to have to use the... We have a little bit of a radar hole, but it does not matter. We will just look into its past. And let's predict what it's doing. It looks like... It does look like it is intensifying once it goes. Honestly, that could have a hook on it. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, look at that. It's very possible we could have just a little bit of a teensy wincy hook. But we can't see it well because we just passed the radar site. Oh yeah. Now we are seeing that kind of rotational signature going on. So we could potentially have a little bit of it's possible for a potential for a tornado to be happening over here. It is very broad, the rotation wise. It is very broad. But those two rotational spots do line up with our hook echo. So we will see. Once again, like I said, we will have to see. This storm is going out into a lake. Going back, and once again, once this storm, this hook echo, before it really ramps up, because like I said, this is going to go through some populated areas. And yes, technically right now, in between, we could see potential for a tornado, but I do not think it will form. If it does continue intensifying, it is going more than likely de-intensify, because it is going to be hit by a huge friction change. Now, it may not deteriorate it fast, but it will be deteriorating it. So we will definitely, I think personally, with the storm's track and out, even without a hook echo or whatnot, once this goes out into the ocean, I think areas over here, like businesses, homes over here, will have a great view of a water spout. I definitely think this storm will produce a water spout before it produces a tornado on land. Alright, now I'm actually going to go into the model runs. The model runs. I want what, I'll do 21Z. And we will go into the Carolina areas because I know everybody is going to be wanting to watch from there. Alright, so this is... This is now. These storms are moving out, but we do have, within the night, we do see just a little bit. If I can maybe take a screenshot of this, and if I can type this out for you, that'd be amazing as well. But we can see, once we go deeper, we do see more of these. Once this line deteriorates, some more of these, that's the line, or some more, if I could, I can't speak today, everybody, I can't, I'm sorry. But we do see, once again, the chances of supercells forming. We can see it. Now, when these supercells go off near the ocean, some of them will have. That's when our tornado potential ramps up. Right over here, you can actually kind of see it. These little black things surrounding like these little kind of like black outline of like these like black raindrop outlines over here that cover like the pink, the purple, the red, and the yellow. These little outlines, that's showing the helicity, or how strong the updraft is, and how, when it shows that, it can show how much tornado potential it has. So we do see some, once they go into the ocean, or at least near the ocean, near the coastline, they will have some tornadic potential to them. So we will have to watch out for that. But later in the night, it will go linear yet again. In this area, by the morning, by like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., by the morning hours, it will be out of their hair. But now, if we continue going, we do see, like I talked about, that little area of storms, that low pressure center, that little, what do you call it? The cold front boundary, creating some lines of showers and potentially some rumbles of thunder. Will continue to go through the Midwest, through the Great Lake regions, and it will kind of just deteriorate. It will bring, since this is, once again, is a Cleveland, Ohio channel, we will get some rain, possibly some heavy rain. What I do see is we will not have any severe weather potential, but as far long as the thunderstorm potential, if we will get some thunderstorms, it will be on the back side, as we do have a little bit of some cells behind it. Not supercells, but some just regular thunderstorm cells that could form behind it. Those cells will combine, and that's once they collide into the rain band, we could see some heavy rain and potentially some just general thunderstorms. Okay, everybody, I think that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. There's nothing really else I need to talk about, but yeah. So that's my little thing, what I do, what I monitor. Obviously, I monitor way more sites to get precise information about like soundings. Like I use like pivotal weather sometimes for models for soundings, like the atmospheric soundings of how things are. Like, oh, I can see that this has a lot of energy in it, blah blah blah. And yeah, we're seeing those supercells pop up. So we are definitely well into that, at least possibly in the beginning stages of this, once again, the tornado risk over here for mainly South Carolina, maybe North Carolina. that small tornado risk. All right. I'll see y'all in the next one, which I don't know when it'll that be. So, just have a good day. Remember that it's all, we're good.